Hello. Hello. Hey, Jane. How are you? I see that you're here. I see we've got a few more people here. There's some people here from YouTube. I have come live. Excuse my hair. It is wet. Super, super wet. So, mm, that's okay. Hello, Angie. How are you? How are you doing? I'm so glad you are good. Everybody is showing up to answer a reader question. I have the funniest story to tell y'all about Mama. Oh my gosh, the funniest story. So, anyways, tonight across the river is Cyndi Lauper, and I'm so excited to hear her sing. Girls just want to have fun. I hope I hear it. But the concert starts at like 7:30, and there's a pre-show, and then she doesn't even come on to like 9 o'clock. So Eddie and I are going out after this. I'm not going to listen to the first band, but I am going to make sure I make it back in time for Cyndi Lauper. Anyways, if you're just joining us, I'm here to answer a reader question. Oh my gosh, I'm waiting for some more people to pop in, and then I have a super funny story about Mama. And I don't know if Mama is going to hear the story or not. Sometimes she jumps on here and listens and stuff like that. So, oh my gosh, so funny. Mm, 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 mm. Funny, funny. Also, Friday, Luke Bryan is going to be across the way, and he has a sold out show. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So I definitely want to hear that one as well. But, anyways, we are here to answer a reader question. And I got to wait for it to scroll by. Today's reader question is from Michelle Shirley Webb, and she said, "Do you plan to continue all the series forever?" Right? We are hooked. Gosh, I wish, Michelle. So if you got my newsletter on Sunday, you know that I have got the last Maisie Doss book. It is going to be the last one is Echoes of Betrayal. People are like, "Oh, I'm hooked on that series." Well, that was never meant to be a long running series. It was actually only meant to be 3 books. And the reason why it became a fourth book is because I felt like I needed to wrap it up. That was just a series that I wanted to write to my heart. It wasn't a series that I expect readers to fall in love with, but it's one of those things that she's a CI, and how long can she be a CI? I mean, come on. So, the fourth book is really different. So, she became a CI, or she was in hiding in the first book, Sleight of Hand, and then she had to come back to Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, which I have a funny story about that too. And so what happened was that she ends up going back to Slate Creek Hollow in the fourth book. And it's a little bit more cozier mystery than the first 3 books, because I wanted to end it with her like on a thing. Look at my hair. Like, it's literally wet. I've been sitting with wet hair all day. And so I'm like, I should probably fix it, but I don't care. So, anyways, so what happened is that Maisie goes back to Slate Creek Hollow in book 4. And it is so fun. You get to meet those characters. And at the end, I was like, oh, I kind of like her as a cozy, nosy sleuth. I thought that was really, really fun. So that book is coming out in August. And then that is going to be the last of that series. But a funny story about that series, then we can move on to the other series to answer Michelle's question, is the holiday series. So the holiday series I initially started, which is a spinoff of the Camper series. I initially started that series just for my Patreon group. And so it quickly became a fun series just to write. And I would publish those just as I wrote them. And so that series is going to be put on hold. And the reason for that is because I have so many other series that I like to write in more that I need to kind of focus on those series. And there's only 12 months in the year. And, if I write in all these other series, then some of your favorites won't have a story because I have like a million series. So if I write in one book a series, a year, you're only going to get one book of those characters. And I just cannot stay away from Roxy Bloom. I cannot stay away from Kenny Lowry. And I certainly cannot stay away from Mae West for a full one book a year. So, with that said, and I certainly can't write any more than I can write. So, with that said, the holiday series is actually going to be put on hold. I did start writing that in my Patreon group recently, but it's kind of been put on hold. So, I haven't told them that yet. Jane, I know you're in here. Don't tell them. Shh. I'm kidding. I'll tell them. But anyways, so that is one series I put on hold. And then, I'm reviving the Southern Ghostly Mystery series, Michelle. So that's another book that has to be put into my arsenal of releases. So that is why some of the series has to either be put on hold or they're ending. So unfortunately, I have to end those. But I'm going back to the story about Maisie Doss. So know it was set in the town of Camp Springs, Kentucky. And so Camp Springs, a local little town here to me. And I love going to the Camp Springs Tavern where they have the bluegrass jam. And so they have what a bluegrass jam is if you just live in our area or just anywhere in northern Kentucky. I mean, and even I guess because they do have people that show up just out of town because they see people doing the jam. And so if you play an instrument, and you don't have to even be like that great. Like I could probably take my Jews harp and like twang that out. So what happened? There's Eddie. So what happened was that every Thursday they have what's called well, it's every other Thursday they have what's called bluegrass jam. And so I'm getting some water. Look at these cute little things. They are I can pick like little wildflowers from the woods and they're little vases for my refrigerator. You can see there's one that's dead right there. I know Brady came over and he's like, when are you gonna pluck that dead one out? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you do it? Okay, so anyways, going back to squirrel. So, anyways, what happened was the Halloween. What happened is that so they have so you can go and take your instruments to the Camp Springs Tavern and you can play your instrument and you just have a jam session. So it's not like a band or anything. It's like a that's just called bluegrass jam. So it's all bluegrass music. And people might play a jug, they might play the box, they might play the fiddle, they might play the stand-up bass, they bring guitars, and I have posted about it a million times, so y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But this is the part that comes all the way back around full circle. So I was here the other morning. Oh, so we have a tree oh my gosh, I should show y'all that video while we're on here. So we have this tree that I'm gonna send it to us so I can see it. So we have this tree that was that's a pine tree, and it was in the way of my view. And so not only that, but it was in the way of my view for fireworks during the 4th of July. And I had people here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is in the way of the fireworks, Eddie. We need to get rid of that tree. I hope yeah, we're still on here. Okay. And so I said, and he's like, I don't know if I want to get rid of the tree. I'm like, we need to get rid of the tree because I can't see and it's skewing my view. We moved up here for the view. Get rid of the tree. So, anyways, he called a tree service and they were like, what was the first tree service, Eddie? How much was it for the pine? $1,300 to take down a tree. And I'm like, I can gnaw that sucker down. And I'm like, no. And so what happened was I was like, what is going on with $1,300 to take down a tree? And I know that might not sound high to some people, but it sounded high to me. And so Eddie was like, oh, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, oh. And so I'm like, yeah, but it skews my view of my beautiful morning coffee shot. And if anybody wants to know, I'd still do my morning coffee shot. It's just in my private Facebook group, which is free. So if you want to see the morning coffee shop and you want to do giveaways, all the things, go to my Facebook page. And we'll talk about that in a second too. So anyways, what happened was I was like, that is expensive. So he's like, well, I'm going to call somebody else and get another quote. And I said, okay. So he calls, and I'm sitting here in my pajamas one morning, writing away right there, and looking at my skewed view of the river, which is right here. You can see it, and you can't really see it. So I was looking at my skewed view, y'all. And this guy comes to the door, and he knocks it on, comes on in, and I'm like, I know that guy. And so him and Eddie go out to the back deck, and they're looking, and I'm like, I know that guy. I know that guy from somewhere, but where do I know that guy? And so Eddie comes in, and he said, yeah, he said that his company did it for $500. I said, $500? Well, yeah, we'll do $500. We are in my dirty closet because I'm going to get out my juice harp because I think I could play this at the Bluegrass Jam. So, anyways, I said, yeah, we're going to do it for $500. I know him. And so Eddie's like, how do you know him? I'm like, I just know him. There's Rowena. And I'm like, I know him, but where do I know him from? And Eddie's like, I don't know. I know him too. I recognize him from somewhere. And I'm like, I know him. And then Eddie goes, I don't know, maybe we saw him at Camp Springs Tavern. And I went, he is the harmonica player. That's him. I know him. That is the harmonica player at the Bluegrass Jam. And every time we go to the Bluegrass Jam, they're always like, that's the author that's writing about us. That's the author that's writing the books. And I'm always like, I'm not writing about y'all. But if y'all want me to act like I'm writing about y'all, I can. But they know that because the book is set at the tavern. So every time I go in, they're like, oh, you're the author, right? And I'm like, yeah. So I could probably do that. Eddie is laughing because Rowena's eyes are like that big. I could play in the Bluegrass Jam. Y'all have a special talent? Y'all never know what I'm going to pull out of my honey on these lives. So anyway, so I said, Eddie, when he comes down to take down the tree, you have to, I'm going to share with y'all so anyway, so y'all know before, because I got a story to tell y'all about Mama too, but I had, actually, how long is this video? It's 2 minutes, but I can fast forward it. So y'all know that I had taken Mama and Tracy me and Tracy had taken Mama to the spa for the weekend for her birthday. And I've got a funny story to tell you. But first, I want you to. So Eddie had to go to Mama's and take care of Mama's dog, Ginger, because she's just not comfortable up through here. And she can go in and out of her house. And she has she has a electric fence there, but we left Rowena at home. And let me tell you, it was not pretty. But the point being is, Eddie, I gotta get my old lady readers. Hold on, I gotta find it. So Eddie, he a window. Oh, there it is. So he I gotta get back. I don't know if y'all can hear it, and I don't really care if y'all can hear it. But look there's the guy. There he is. $500. Look at that. Watch him. That's the tree. It's fascinating. So anyway, so Eddie pulled up I don't know if y'all can hear me or hear this guy, but he pulled up the cameras right as this guy is taking down the tree because they called and they said, hey, we're ready to take down the tree. And he goes, oh, we're not home. Look at him. And so Eddie pulled it up. And of course, our cameras videotape because there's cameras all over this house. And so, I mean, watch this guy. It's fascinating. Oh, besides, we took down the tree, thank God, because the tree was dead at the bottom. It was eaten up by carpenter ants. Was it carpenter ants? Some kind of ants. Carpenter ants. And so the tree on the bottom was dead. So it was needed to come down anyways. But watch him. It's fascinating. I'd be scared to death. Scared to death. Isn't that crazy? So luckily, $500. That's a deal. I mean, look at that guy. That has to be crazy hard. And he's just like, "Rrrr." Ding dong, it's gone. I mean, look at that. There he goes. Unfreaking believable. Oh, isn't that crazy? So that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, $500 is a steal for this guy to do that, right? So we'll now we're gonna sing a song, huh? Well, Eddie says pretty good payday for 5 minutes. Yeah, but not for his scariness. What's wait, y'all are probably like, she is a wackadoodle bud. Does anybody else know how to play the juice harp? That's what it is my granny's. Oh, look at my lipstick. Mm. Granny would tell me to take my lipstick off, play that. This was my granny's. And this, your teeth go here on the top. And if you don't watch it, you'll hit your teeth and it hurts. Hurts. So, anyways, was that not a crazy video of that guy? So, of course, we're watching it. And then, so we took mom to the West Baden Hotel, which is in Indiana. It is beautiful. And it was just, it's super beautiful. And, we were so happy for to take her for her birthday. And my sister and I had actually, so this is like the inside of the hotel. And we've stayed in one of those balcony rooms before, but this was not a balcony room. We stayed in a suite because my mama and my sister snore and I don't, and I can't take it. And so then we had mom sitting in Edith Ann chair, which is funny. And then let's see if I think I got the inside of it. Like the big, so the inside is huge. Like that's the inside, and those are the rooms there, and that's the top, and it changes colors. So we made sure we got some. This is the when it changed green, and then that's when it changed blue. So we got Mama a spa day, and then we would come back and we would either go to town to have dinner or we'd ate dinner there. And then we would have supper at night. And so each night we had, so the first night we went to the casino in at French Lick. And so there was a trolley that would take us because Mama loves the casino. So Mama's like, here, girls, I'm gonna give y'all a little money to play. So she gave my sister and I $100 each. I'm like, Mom, I'm not gonna take your money. She's like, no, no, why don't you play? Because I'm not gonna play the casino, y'all. I worked too darn hard for my money to throw it away on those penny slots. But let me tell you what, I won. I won. I did play and I won $150 on top of the $100. So I said, okay, Mommy, you're gonna get your money back. She's like, no, 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 I want my money. I said, Mom, I don't want your money. So I like slipped it into her stuff. So then what happened was that so for the next couple days, I bought all our food. I'm like, okay, lunch is on me, which we call dinner. So I said, or, supper's on me. So I said, let's go. There was a country club that the trolley would take you to off off property. And I heard it was good. So I said, let's go there for our last night. And I had brought like games to play, and so at night we would play games or do whatever. And of course, I brought my needle pointing because y'all, if y'all are on my Patreon, y'all know that I have been working on needle pointing, and every time I put up a needle pointing or a cross stitch pattern, I'm always like, I'm going to take it up. I'm going to take it. Well, I did take it up, and I do it every night. I'll show you. It's fancy. Y'all are in my ears, so I can take y'all with me. And so I got real fancy way to. I got this real fancy way to carry it with me, a Ziploc baggie, and there's a hole where my scissors have made a hole. But I am making it, and I've done one before, and so it is going to be a typewriter. There, I've started it. See, that's all I got done while we were gone. It don't matter. I still started it. The starting's the hardest part. And it's got a long way to go. This is what it's going to look like. So again, it's probably going to be given away in my Patreon group. And it's not going to say you're my type. I'm going to change it or just not put anything on it. So anyways, again, if you do not belong in the Patreon group, you need to go over there because also I have some really, really cool stuff going on in there starting in January that I can't talk about yet because I've got all these working parts that have to do with it. And it's outside working parts. Like Eddie has a job. My website designer has a job. A cover artist has a job. Spotify has a job. The Facebook group has a job. And let's just say you are going to lose your marbles when you find out what it is. And so it's only going to be over there. So anyways, so go join that because I really want you to join that. And it's free. So anyway, and I'm like I kept my sweet friend Karen used to be in charge of it, but no longer. So she's still there. But I'm like, you know what? I really need to grow it. It's my group. I just kind of needed to do my thing. I don't really know what I knew that I was going to do starting the thing in January because the thing in January is going to be 6 months long. Oh my gosh, the thing in January is going to be 6 months long. I mean, it's a huge undertaking project. So, anyways, can't not talk about it. So, because I'll tell you all that, and I don't want to tell you all about it yet because that's the worst part. I'm not good at surprises. I'll probably start talking about it in October. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, so back to Mama. So I'm like, okay. So I said, let's go um, to this country club. So me and Mama and Tracy, after Mama was pampered all day at the spa, we get on this trolley and we tell the lady to that we're going to this country club. And she's like, okay, because they really don't have like these trolley stops. You just get on and you just tell them where you want to go, and they take you. And so she's like, so she had a radio on. If y'all know anything about me, I think y'all know I sing a lot, so I like know all the music. I don't care what genre it is. I do not discriminate. It can be the Bible. It can be hard rock. It can be Christian. It can be whatever it is. I know it. And so I was singing to her stuff and she's like, I like y'all. And I was like, oh, good. So how do we get back on the trolley to come get us? And she's, oh, you just tell your wait staff that, when they bring the bill, can you call the trolley? And I'm like, okay. So we get there and it's a country club. And so this place is all like men golfing and all sorts of stuff. So are you outside? Okay. Eddie's going outside because probably the band is getting to start and then we're going to go. So, anyways, so what happened was that we get done eating. It was so good. It was so, so good. I had the salmon and I'm not very grill. So they had like this honey glazed sauce that was going to come on. And I'm like, no, I don't want none of that. I just want the plain baked potato and the salmon. And then they had country green beans, which of course I'm going to eat the country green beans. And so we had a dessert for Mama's birthday. So we tell the lady at the counter, well, can we get a trolley? And she's like, yeah, we can get a trolley. So like, okay. So we're out there rocking in these rocking chairs on the veranda of this country club. And this group of young guys, my kids' age, like 32 and 28. all coming in. They're partying, they're drinking, they're doing all the things. They're throwing this little football and catching it. All of their clubs are like sitting there hanging out and they're talking and laughing. And so we had to watch them for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm at home when my kids were kids and had like a house full of boys. Oh, the trolley could not get here fast enough out of this. So here comes the trolley up the little drive. And so I was like, oh, here's the trolley. And I see it's the same little lady that dropped us off. And all of a sudden, here's one of the guy goes, oh, there's the trolley. So they start getting all their stuff. And I mean, there's like 20 of them. And I'm like, the trolley is like that big. And so I was like, oh no, what is going on? What is going on? And so they get on the trolley with us. So it was mom and Tracy in the front seat. And I had to sit by this guy. And I'm like, and I put my thing there and they're rowdy and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And so so they start singing and start, they're wasted. And so they're singing and they're like some of them had to stand up and so they were dancing and there's mama next to me on this aisle and I'm looking at her and the guy goes, "Oh, is your mom okay?" I said, "She's fine." "Are you kidding?" I go, "Y'all are tame." I go, "She has got 5 grandsons, 4 of 'em are mine, and they're all your age, so they are fine." And so I go, "It's her birthday." And one of the guys standing up goes, "Oh, it's her birthday?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What's her name?" And I go, "Linda." And I'm like, "Everybody, it's Linda's birthday." So they start singing happy birthday to mama. And so the one guy standing next to mom, they're like singing, they say her name and I'm laughing. So the one guy, literally, it was in front of her face, turns around and starts doing the booty shake to her. And all of a sudden, mom goes, "You got $1?" And my sister is like, "Oh my God." So Tracy gives mom $1 and he's booty shaking. And mom puts $1 in his pants. And the kids went crazy on that thing. Like, "Whoa, Linda." So then she's like stuffing dollars in his pants. And I'm like, what is going on here? So then he turns around, he starts doing this to her, and she goes, "Oh, honey, the back of you's better." And I was like, I about died. And all the guys on the trolley were cackling. They're like, "Oh my God." And so, anyways, so they were getting off at the casino and we just laughed the whole. I mean, when mama said, "You got $1?" and talking to my sister, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I knew where this was going. And mom's like stuffing dollars in his pants. And I was like, and I mean, they were cracking up. So we had a really good laugh at that. And I said, "Oh," Tracy goes, "Did you videotape that?" I said, "No, I didn't videotape that. If I was to videotape that, Jack would kill somebody because I had taken a picture of mama because I can't take mama anywhere." And so, my daddy, when he was alive, he'd say when a man died, the widow, she would just bloom out like a morning glory. And so, and Mama's so cute and pretty. And so, I had taken Mama to the local parade at the 4th of July, and I'm standing at the parade and I'm taking pictures and I'm clapping, I'm getting the candy, and I look back and Mom's like all laid back on this rock fence that they had behind. There's a rock fence right there, and talking to this man, and I'm like, what is going on? And so she's laughing, he's offering her chair, and they're talking, and I'm like, so I took a picture, like I was taking a picture of the parade, but really I had it turned around, and I was taking a picture of Mama and this man, and I sent it to my family text. I said, "I can't take her nowhere," and my son Jack went crazy. He said, "I'm gonna put him in the grave. I'm coming there right now. I'm gonna put him in a coffin. Get him away from Granny." And I was like, "Jack, you can't do that." But my son Jack would lose his marbles if he knew that story. And he don't listen on here, so I know he ain't gonna hear it. But and then he texted me said, "Mama, why would you send that picture to the family text?" I go, "Because it's funny, Jack. It's funny that everywhere we go, it didn't matter if daddy was living or not. Men hit on mama all the time." So, anyways, those are my stories for the night. So I told you why I'm not going to be writing in 2 series, and I've told you 2 funny stories that happened this my week. So fun. But anyways, let me grab the link to the Facebook because I want you to go over there. I have a super secret project no one knows about except for my web designer and Eddie and my cover artist and a few other people that we've got to make it happen. Super, super secret. That's why I've taken over my um, Facebook page. I'm there every day. Every Wednesday is a giveaway. So I'm going to put this in the link for you to come join because I would love, love, love to see you over there. And it's going to be exciting. So it's a 6-month project that we have going on, and it won't start until January. And you guys are going to lose your marbles. That's why it's so fun to have all these secrets. I'm not telling nobody. Don't ask. Don't message me. Don't, nothing. You ain't going to find out. So, anyways, we're going to go. We've got to go meet a couple people out. And then, because we're going to go have supper. And then we're going to listen to Cyndi Lauper. She is across the river. And I can't wait to hear her because girls just want to have fun. And I'm one of those girls. Bye.